up on Citrus TV News, could our title as the #1 party school explain an uptick in alcohol use on campus?
Plus, airports make new regulations to steer clear of Ebola, but does it meet your expectations?
And a major retailer chooses to drop health coverage for its part-time employees.
That and more. Citrus TV News starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News live at 6. I'm Anna Giles.
And I'm Hunter Saenz. We're starting the show off today with a new tradition. We are finally jumping on the Throwback Thursday wagon.
So later on, we're going to show you an old picture of a building here on campus. We'd like you to tweet at Citrus TV News with your guesses with the hashtag CitrusTBT.
All right, and now on to our top story tonight. A new DPS study shows alcohol violations on campus have increased significantly.
Now, the report reveals that 4 out of 5 college students drink alcohol, and it's causing them to miss class, do poorly on exams, and get lower grades.
What we're responsible for reporting in these numbers is violations of state law or local ordinance. So anytime you're referred for a violation of a state law or local ordinance, that's clearly reportable. So if you're 22 years old and you're found intoxicated and stumbling about down Comstock Avenue, they're going to refer you for a violation of the university's alcohol and drug policy for being a safety hazard to yourself, for being that intoxicated. However, that's not going to be clearly reportable because it's not against the law to be 22 and drunk. If you're 19 and drunk now, that's a violation of the law, and that one is clearly reportable.
Joining us now is Nick Papantonis, who's been following this story. So Nick, what do you think exactly is the cause for this rise in alcohol consumption? Does it come with our new title as #1 party school?
So DPS was the woman I interviewed at DPS said that they have no specific cause for it. They're not really sure what the 200 number increase is. They're tying it right now to the increase in enrollment at Syracuse University. So they think that because we have a record number of students, we also have a record number of violations.
Now, Nick, I'm curious what DPS's opinion was on the fact that a lot of these students that are getting busted for drinking alcohol are actually on campus, not off campus.
So the clip that we showed in the interview that I had, that was related to that clip right there. Basically, they were only reporting violations of state law. So as she said, if you're a 22-year-old and you're caught getting drunk, you're not going to be included in those statistics. You're not going to be, fraternities are also included in off-campus, and that also counts in University Village. So it's only in residence halls and in the South Campus apartments for people who are primarily 18 and 19 years old. That's a violation of state law. That's going to be reported.
All right, Nick Papantonis starting us off tonight. Nick, as always, thanks. Ever wanted to watch The Parent Trap with thousands of your closest friends? Well, you're in luck because tonight is the first annual Camp Q's. The event is part of the Orange Central and kicks off at 8 p.m. in Goldstein. There are also other Orange Central events happening today, including exhibitions in Maxwell, Newhouse, and the library. Orange Central begins today with the final events on Sunday.
And as another part of Orange Central, the Pan Am 103 Remembrance Quilt will be on display all weekend beginning today. The quilt was created by the class of 1999 Remembrance Scholars as a lasting memorial. Remembrance Week begins October 19th with the rose-laying ceremony on Friday, October 24th.
The Maxwell School is celebrating its 90th anniversary. The entire SU community was invited to a 20s-themed anniversary party this afternoon. Events will continue tomorrow until Saturday for students and alumni, including tours of Maxwell and speakers in the Maxwell Auditorium. The celebration will end Saturday morning on the Shaw Quad with an alumni book signing.
Students behind the hashtag I2MSU have set up a photo exhibit in Shine's Panache Lounge, and SU's NAACP chapter gained more attention than anticipated. The exhibition displays about 30 photos of multiracial students with the hashtag I2MSU. And a personal note, the exhibit ends on October 13th, and the campaign is expected to extend through the semester and possibly the whole year.
Well, today is National Students Day, and the SU bookstore celebrated with iOS 8 tips and tricks, food, and prizes. There was also a student service showcase featuring Shaw Center literacy initiatives, Enactus, and Golden Key. The date to submit your
applications for SU Abroad has just passed, but a lot of students still have questions about what they can do to prepare. Our Alex Resnick has the story.
In their junior year of college, Syracuse University students are mostly excited for one thing, and it isn't basketball season. It's the chance to study abroad. With its own abroad office on campus, SU students are especially lucky that the program is so well established.
SU Abroad sends about 2,000 students abroad annually. So that includes students from SU, and it also includes students from about 120 other schools and colleges across the country.
And the numbers only get bigger. Aside from the 8 center programs that SU Abroad has, they also have 65 world partners, universities that allow SU students to transfer credits directly back to SU without taking a leave of absence.
Especially with world partner programs, that really is driven by student demand. That's why we have so many, because our students have come to us over the years and said, hey, I'd really like to do this program in Austria, or I'd really like to do this program in South Africa.
But some students aren't looking to go as far as Africa and would rather stick to the established SU centers. Students will get the chance to meet non-SU students through their programs, a large aspect that they look forward to during their abroad experience.
I think it's great that you have the options to go away for 4 months. You'll meet so many different people, and it's a different learning experience also.
Once students complete their application, the next step is to get a visa, fill out post-application forms, and figure out housing, which for some students and their parents is a primary concern.
So a lot of people are scared that they're not going to be able to go out or do specific things because they're living with a family and that they're limited.
But that doesn't seem to be the case, according to SU Abroad and previous SU Abroad students.
In Madrid, in Florence, and Santiago, and Strasbourg, students are often concerned about living with a host family, even though our feedback is overwhelmingly positive about living with a host family, because it really immerses you into the culture of the city that you're in.
SU Abroad will be holding their next general information session on October 22nd. In the meantime, there's still space on almost every program, so keep applying. I'm Alex Resnick, CitrusTV News.
The first case of Ebola diagnosed here in the U.S. now has airports on high alert. Coming up, analysis from our chief political correspondent.
Plus, the global fight against ISIS hits a speed bump as the Islamic State takes control of a key border town.
Starting to cool down into fall temperatures here in Cuse. I'll let you know what you can expect for the rest of your homecoming weekend coming up on CitrusTV News live at 6.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay. Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool. Not cool. Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that. That's low, that's low. That's low and below. Look, he's blushing. Seriously.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
Welcome back. So that campus building photo we keep telling you to guess the name of, well, here's your first clue.
The school was founded in 1895, and currently there are only 4 schools in upstate New York that teach the topic it's named after.
All right, we'll have to see. Police in the Albany suburb of Guilderland are investigating a quadruple murder after the discovery of 4 dead bodies in a family's home. No information was released about the victims, but neighbors say the 2 adults and 2 children lived in the house. State police say that a Chinese-speaking interpreter will be needed to interview potential witnesses. And the couple accused of kidnapping 2 Amish girls faces charges of abusing more victims. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Stephen Howells and Nicole Vasey exploited half a dozen children for almost a year. This comes a month after a federal grand jury charged the couple with making child pornography. And the spread of Ebola to the U.S. now has the CDC and many Americans fearing the worst. People arriving in the U.S. from various West African countries face more security, among other safety measures.
Is the U.S. response so far meeting expectations? Joining us now is Talking Points moderator Nick Cardona. Nick, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, Nick, so the U.S. response, too much or too little?
Well, I mean, I think, it's hard to tell. I mean, they're doing everything they can. In my opinion, the response is just right as of now for the information that we have. Americans, on the other hand, 72% of Americans, there's a graphic that we're going to put up on the screen now, that they are concerned about how the U.S. is handling this situation in West Africa. Also, 40% of Americans believe that that Washington is not handling the situation correctly, or is handling the situation correctly, while 54% of the American people believe that it is going in the wrong direction. So it's definitely a skewed poll number there.
So looking at it politically, you gave out those figures. More people think that he's not dealing with it.
Yeah.
Well, America's not dealing with it as they should. What are some of these political heads? Are they skeptics of Obama's plans to fight this disease, or are they supporting it?
Well, a lot of political talking heads are saying, that Obama has not dealt with the crisis efficiently right now up to this point. They're suggesting closing airports, not letting anybody from West Africa into this country, which is another thing that we're going to talk about on Talking Points on Sunday. So that's going to be an interesting debate that is going to surround this country. And I mean, it's just another way for a lot of people to criticize the president and how he's handling other policies as a result of this Ebola crisis.
All right, Nick Cardona joining us in studio today. You can catch Nick on Talking Points every Sunday morning. Nick, thanks.
Thank you.
A Vietnamese oil tanker that disappeared off the coast of Singapore last week is now back in port in Vietnam. Pirates captured Sunrise 689 just 40 minutes after it left the harbor a week ago. According to authorities, the pirates stole 2,000 tons of oil on board. Piracy has been on the rise in South Asia, with 6 hijacks since April.
The foreign minister of Turkey says it's unrealistic for the country to fight ISIS on the ground without outside help. The terrorist group is currently fighting Kurdish troops for control of Kobani, a city just a few miles from the Turkish border. The ongoing violence has forced almost 2 million people from the region.
The military government of Thailand will be rewarding police officers with cash for refusing bribes from citizens. Bribery is a common occurrence in the country, and the initiative is part of a larger effort to combat corruption. The government has recently cracked down on taxi gangs at airports, drug users, and law-breaking Buddhist monks.
Those fall temperatures have finally arrived, nice and cool out there. Let's see if they're here to stay with our weather anchor, Jessica Mendelson. Jessica?
Thanks, Anna. Well, today 59 was our high. We were mostly around 56 for most of the day. A little windy, 15 miles per hour, but humidity finally going away, 42%. So it's starting to get nice and dry, not too hot. But tonight, 72% humidity. How come we're seeing that? It's because we have a high pressure zone around us, but the low tonight, 45, 50 will be mostly where we're staying, nice and clear, 10% chance of precipitation, so nothing to really worry about. And as I said, going into those current dew points, more on the dry side, Syracuse at 33, which is one of the lower numbers on the map, 35 in Buffalo, 36 in Scranton, so we're getting right there into drier humidity. And current temperatures, 62 for Syracuse, but as you can see, we have some blue popping up on the map for the first time that we've seen this year. So definitely getting into those fall temperatures that we've all been waiting for. And moving on to the current surface map, there's really not much going on above Syracuse right now. You can see the precipitation right here. It's not likely to hit us this evening, so there's nothing to worry about going on there. And moving into your 5-day forecast for Orange Central homecoming weekend, we have 59 on Thursday, 43 at night, 59 on Friday, 42 in the evening, and then for the game on Saturday, 56, a beautiful day, 38 at night, Sunday 62, 49 in the evening, and Monday for rain, 69 degrees.
Oh, Jessica, I'm glad there's not going to be any rain tonight, but what really did hit me were those cold temperatures, especially this morning. I feel like that came so fast.
It did come really fast, but what's happening below us to the south is that there's a low pressure zone happening, so there's a lot of rain going down to the south, and so what's behind that rain is the cool temperatures that we're experiencing, but no rain for us.
All right, Jessica, we'll see you at the end of the broadcast.
And coming up, the largest employer in the U.S. cuts some health benefits for part-time workers.
Plus, the International Film Festival continues here in Syracuse. What's showing tonight? We'll have that next.
Kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So we're getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Packers, Viking, Packer, Viking, Viking.
Red state, blue state, vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Night owl.
Early bird.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities, our families,
united.
Even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
A dog diagnosed with Ebola is now dead after being euthanized in Madrid. The dog's owner believes she may have passed on the virus to her dog due to an error when removing her safety equipment after treating patients with Ebola.
While 400,000 people signed a petition to save the dog, health officials believe the dog posed a big health risk and needed to be put down. Nigeria is officially Ebola-free thanks to the extensive and focused interventions. Nigerians are now free to do all the kissing, hugging, and shaking hands that they like.
Well, the government quarantined those affected along with their families to keep the virus contained. But as Nigeria celebrates, the U.S. and Spain are stuck battling this deadly disease. And Red Bull's claim to give you wings finds them coughing up $13 million. The deal settles a lawsuit against the Austrian beverage company claiming the drink is no more effective at providing energy than a standard cup of coffee.
Anyone who has bought a Red Bull in the last 12 years can register online to get a $10 refund for $15 worth of Red Bull products. Get this, no proof of purchase is necessary.
Walmart customers can now add another item to their shopping list, health insurance. The retail giant is teaming up with DirectHealth.com to allow shoppers to compare health insurance plans and enroll in Medicare.
Now, this comes just a day after Walmart said they're cutting health care coverage for employees who work less than 30 hours a week.
And now let's send it over to our entertainment reporter, Kate Capodanno, with all your Syracuse entertainment news.
The Syracuse International Film Festival continues today with a screening of Is That You? The film, directed by Israeli filmmaker Danny Menken, will screen tonight at the Palace Theater at 7 p.m. This is the 5th day of the festival that continues until October 12th. A variety of films from multiple genres will continue to screen throughout the weekend. Patchwork Plus Quilt Shop is doing their part to honor veterans. The store features an exhibition of 52 quilts made by celebrity designers. The quilts have made their way around the country before making their last stop near Marcellus. Admission is free, but donations go towards the charity Operation Homefront. The exhibition ends on October 15th.
Coming up in sports, Coach Schaefer talks about the big changes for SU football as the Orange prepares for Florida State. And are you ready for some hockey? We tell you what you need to know as the season gets underway.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. So is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
In 1977, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European pro golf tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice, 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 110. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Hockey starts in the state of New York. The MLB postseason heats up, but first, the new-look Syracuse offense prepares for the #1 team in the nation. Good evening, I'm Katie Williams. Coach Scott Schaefer spoke publicly for the first time this morning since announcing Tim Lester as the new offensive coordinator. But all he was focused on was looking at this weekend's game against Florida State.
Well, I think our staff's going to work extremely hard to find a way to beat Florida State, and I'm excited with the way they've been going about their business, especially yesterday in practice.
George mentioned that he felt blindsided by the move. How accurate of a description is that?
We're looking forward to beating Florida State this week. That's our whole goal, and that's our whole focus.
The Orange can only hope all of the changes will not be a distraction, because if last year's game at Doak Campbell Stadium is any indication, Syracuse faces a tough challenge. There's the second touchdown of the game for FSU, and that was the third. In the fourth quarter, now we're up to 4 in the first quarter. It was really just a free-for-all for Heisman Trophy winner Jameis Winston. There in the second quarter, he passed to Kelvin Benjamin. Later in the third quarter, James Wilder, a 37-yard touchdown run. And here, Syracuse had offense, had a chance, but even the FSU defense got in on the scoring with a 31-yard fumble returned for a touchdown. 59-0 Florida State. Syracuse did get on the board with that 32-yard field goal, so they weren't blanked 59-3, but it still wasn't pretty. Football isn't the only team facing the Seminoles. Tonight, women's soccer faces FSU in Tallahassee. And it turns out, Florida State is also really good at soccer. The ladies are ranked number 2 in the nation and have won 7 straight. SU is coming off a 3-0 win against Boston College over the weekend. When the Seminoles visited the Hill last year, the Orange didn't let up a goal in regulation, but eventually fell 1-0 in overtime. CBS's Thursday night football experiment this season hasn't quite panned out. The average margin of victory so far has been 29 points. So hopefully tonight's Colts-Texans matchup will be a bit more exciting. It'll be a tough test for Houston, who hasn't beaten Indy since Andrew Luck took over at QB. Despite many players' complaints about the short week Thursday night games create, the scheduling quirk seems to agree with the Colts. They've won 9 straight contests. While the hockey season technically started last night with the Kings hoisting the Stanley Cup banner, New York's hockey teams will be in action for the first time tonight. The Sabres open their season at home against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Buffalo finished last season with just 52 points, 14 lower than any other team in the NHL. On the other side of the spectrum, the Rangers begin their Eastern Conference Championship defense at the St. Louis Blues. And with every league championship series team clinching so early, we're now in day 2 without baseball. But don't worry, the playoffs will be back come Friday. After sweeping the Angels, the Royals headed to Baltimore to prepare for the first game against the Orioles. The Royals send James Shields to the mound. He's had 12 strikeouts in the postseason, but also given up 3 homers. The O's have yet to announce who their starter will be. Then on Saturday, the NLDS between the Cardinals and Giants begins. These two teams have been perennial postseason powers of late. The last time one of them was not the National League Championship was back in '09 when the Phillies won the World Series.
All right, Katie, let's talk football really quick. Who do you got against Florida State for Alumni Weekend?
Well, it would be nice if Syracuse got some points on the board, but at the end of the day, I think Jameis Winston will just be too much for the Orange. Hopefully, though, they'll be able to score a couple touchdowns, which will be nice after not having a single trip to the end zone against Louisville.
Exactly. Well, we'll wait and see. Thanks, Katie. Coming up, we'll have a look at your weather. Stay with us.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org. You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
All right, Jessica, I want to be prepared for tomorrow. What can I wear?
Well, it's going to be the same as today, 59 degrees, so jeans and a light jacket. You should be good.
Perfect. Weekend weather. All right. Now, as a native Texan, I've seen my fair share of cows, but I've never seen them with diapers on.
I sure hope not, but a German farmer put diapers on his cows to protest a law that banned fertilizers on steep slopes. Local farmers fear that cow pies, which contain high levels of nitrates, will cause them to lose their subsidies, making their businesses unfeasible.
The diapers were made out of trash bags, and while the cows were well behaved, I'd consider the whole ordeal an unfortunate duty.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how they got those diapers on the cows to begin with.
Yeehaw. All right, well, that's it for us tonight. I'm Hunter Saenz.
And I'm Anna Giles. Thanks for joining us.